Hey everybody, Comic Book Steve here again. This one's not a haul video, this is a contest entry for Amazing Murfinators contest video. Congratulations on all the subscribers. I love watching your videos, man. You get a lot of cool Spider-Man books. I'm insanely jealous of your collection. You have a lot of awesome Silver Age and those early 100s issues. That Punisher 129 is especially gorgeous. I love it. I would love to have a amazing 129 original. I think I'm going to have to settle for a variant, one of the reprints for a while. But aside from that, I love watching your videos. It's always great seeing another Amazing Spider-Man fan, especially from the Boston area. So if you end up going to if you end up finding a good deal at a store, I could follow in your footsteps. And yeah, but yeah, I love watching your videos. All the Spider-Man books are fantastic. You got a great collection. Congratulations on all the subscribers. Yeah, so I think the contest was for showing off signed books. I actually have more than I thought I did. I thought I was gonna only end up showing off 2, but I do have more than that. Not all of them I got signed in person. Some of them are like bought signed, but I do have some that are. I think most are signed in person. But so I'll show off one that I had just shown off in the previous video that I did. This is the Amazing Spider-Man 15, the Campbell store variant with the Campbell signature. Really awesome looking book. One of my favorite J. Scott Campbell covers. It's got the certificate of authenticity. I would love to get one signed by him in person. Maybe if he comes out to Boston or Rhode Island, I can do that. Or somewhere in Massachusetts. I know there's like a few smaller conventions that are in the Massachusetts area that I haven't gone to yet. But actually, I doubt he'd show up at one of those. But maybe Boston. Boston's a pretty big one. But yeah, this was pretty cool. Signed by Campbell. The other one I got, this one, I think I bought signed, but I bought it at the guy's booth. This is Marvel Zombies vs. Army of Darkness #1. Not a great miniseries compared to the main Marvel Zombies miniseries, at least the first one. But it was fun at the time. I forget why I got this. I think my girlfriend at the time wanted me to get it because I wasn't too into the series, or maybe we were just walking around and saw him with a. I think he had an empty booth when I went over there. I don't know, whatever it was. I do like his art a lot. So I picked up a signed copy of that. It's got a certificate of authenticity, 226 out of 250. So that was a fun one to get. Don't know if I'll hold on to this one forever, just because I'm not. I like the guy's art. I would like to have his signature on one of the books from the main series, or one of the variant covers that he's done over the years. This one's not. This series isn't too important to me, so I'm kind of not super excited about this one. But yeah, it is a signature. This one, there are some in here that I'm not crazy excited about. This is another one. The Darkness #1. I have no idea what series this was. Signed by Michael Broussard. This one I got signed in California when I was living out there at Earth 2. They're doing a signing in the store for this. I don't care about the Darkness. This one I had gotten signed really just because my girlfriend was like, oh, that guy's sitting over by his booth all by himself. You should go. She felt bad for him, so she kind of guilted me into, not in like a bad way, but you should get him to sign something. You should get some kind of signature from him. So we walked over there and picked up a book and had him sign it. But I'm not at all into the Darkness. I think the only passing interest I have in the Darkness is that I worked on the first Darkness video game, so which was a cool video game if you haven't played it. But other than that, the comic character I don't really care about. But it's a signed book, so that's always fun. This one I care about even less. Just get the ones I don't care about out of the way. This one has a funny story too, similar to the last one. This is Snack Posse #1. If you've never heard of them, don't worry. I think I'm probably the only one who remembers them because I have the signed book. It's signed by all the creators that I think I think it's signed by all the creators. It's got 3 signatures on it. There's one in the middle of those silver ones. Don't know who these guys are. Don't know where they are now. But this was so I lived on Staten Island, New York. I grew up there. And there was Jim Hanley's comic store on Newdorp Lane. And Staten Island's always been the forgotten borough of New York, and so it even during the comic craze, we didn't really get that many people signing stuff at stores in Staten Island, which was a shame. Growing up as a comic fan, I was always jealous of the comic book signings I would hear about in New York City. But as a 9-year-old, 10-year-old, it's hard to get your parents to take the train out there with you just to get a comic book signature. But I did go to this store a lot. So the one day I went to this store, there was this creative team signing this book, and they were alone. No one was going up to their booth, and my dad guilted me into going over there to get their signatures. In fact, I think he ended up getting it himself, because I really didn't want the book. I don't care about a snack posse. I was more into the Hulk and X-Men at that time. So it was a funny story. I hold on to it because it still makes me laugh. Yeah, it sucks seeing a booth of creators with no one going over to them, or like a table. But yeah, that was interesting. So now you know who the snack posse are, if you were ever curious. Now we get into some more fun ones. This was from San Diego Comic-Con 2008 or 9. I think it was 2008. Lenore number 6. No, not 6. 6. I think it's 6. Love that cover. One of my favorite covers. I originally wanted to get the skull, 2-headed skull character tattooed somewhere. I never did. I still would. I think it's a awesome piece of art. So I got this one signed. He did a little sketch on there, so that was fun. Didn't ask him for that, but I was glad to see him do it. I'd like to get more artists to do that real quick on a signature. I think that would give a little flavor to them. So that was fun. Yeah, that was San Diego Comic-Con, and then next to him at the slave labor graphics booth was Yona Vasquez. So this was my favorite Yona Vasquez, Johnny and the Homicidal Maniac cover. It's probably some absurd printing number, but I got him to sign that, so that was also exciting. I was a big fan of that book as a teenager. I was definitely a Hot Topic teenager. Still a fun book. I wish he would do something with those characters again. This one's an old one. Superman Man of Steel 18 first print, signed by Louise Simonson, the writer. I got this at the New York Comic Con in 2002, I think. No, I'm sorry. I'm not 2002. 1992. It was the first big convention I ever went to. So I must have read somewhere that she was going to be there. Because I must have had these on hand because this was the copy I had bought previously. I must have had these on hand when we went there, so I can get them signed. But I don't recall like looking it up or anything. I don't know. It was a long time ago anyway. But so she signed that. She actually signed. I had a copy of number 17 that she signed. I think I lost that a long time ago in the transition from California to the East Coast again. But this one was really cool to get it signed. There's no certificate or anything, so I don't know if it goes for anything signed. But it's always one of those ones I hold in my collection, even when I've downgraded a lot. I think it's a lot of fun. I love that cover. The story was pretty fun too. Doomsday. Then this one I got signed by Brett Breeding, which is the inker of the book. So not as awesome as getting like the writer or the main artist, but still fun. This is when Superman returned. So this was like what 93. So my dad took me out to Jim Hanley's Comics in New York City. So of course, they weren't doing a signing for this in Staten Island, and we got this signed. And I think I had the first issue of the Cyborg Superman, Reign of Superman book, the die cut cover signed. That one's also lost to the wind of time somewhere. But yeah, so that one actually has a signature on there. Doesn't say the date, but that was, I promise you, that was in 1993 when it came out, whatever week that was. So that was a fun one. Love that cover. It's a cool story. Then I also got, this one's also from the New York Comic Con in, I guess it was 94. Because this one actually has a date on it. I thought it was 92, but so it was like 2 years after that Superman Doomsday series ended. But this is a weird one. I don't know why I got this signed. I don't know what was, might have been another one of those. There was a lonely booth, and my dad wanted me to get the book signed. I don't care for Beavis and Butthead. Never did, even as a kid. And I certainly, stuck my nose up at a Marvel Age because it's not like a real comic. But this was signed. I don't even know who it was signed by. The editor, maybe, or someone. But it said the date on it to 1594. So that was the Comic Con, New York Comic Con at that time. And yeah, that one's. I keep that one in my collection just because it's funny as well. This one, Marvel Zombies #1. Marvel Zombies 2 #1, signed by Robert Kirkman, which is an awful signature. This one's an interesting story as well. This was when I was living in California. I went to the comic store every Wednesday. Earth 2 Comics on Ventura Boulevard, if you live in the LA, Sherman Oaks area. Awesome comic store. I really miss it. But Robert Kirkman was in the store just hanging out. And the owner of the shop, or the guy who was working at the time, had him sign a few copies of the book, and then put them on the table, and then was like, "Hey," he saw me buying it. Like, I was right behind Robert Kirkman, and then Kirkman left, and then the guy in the store was like, "You noticed that was Robert Kirkman?" And then he saw that I was picking up a Marvel Zombies #1. And he's like, "You should get the signed version instead." So he just switched that with my regular copy I was getting. And yeah, so that was cover price. I didn't actually talk to Kirkman. Just, saw him talking to the owner and walking out of the store. But that was kind of fun. So, like I said, not a great signature though. Then this one, again, this was not one that I actually had signed by anyone. This was purchased signed. But this is why I loved Earth 2 Comics so much, that I had a subscription there, and Amazing Spider-Man was on that list, and they knew I loved Spider-Man, so instead of putting the regular version of issue 577 when it came out, they put this version that was signed. So that was fun. I think that's signed by the artist, and then it's got the certificate of authenticity on there. So they didn't charge me anymore for it. They just kind of threw it in there as a bonus. So that was fun. Spider-Girl #1. This is signed by Pat Olaf. I got this signed at the Pittsburgh Comic Con in 2006 or 2007. I can't recall, but so that was fun. And then I'll save the best one for last. I've shown it off before. This one also signed at Pittsburgh Comic Con of the same year. Got this signed by Ron Ferns. The Marvel Legends reprints of Amazing Spider-Man 252. One of the best comics of all time. These next two were from Boston Comic Con, either in 2015 or 2014. I can't recall. Amazing 404, signed by Mark Bagley. The signature is on the guy's leg, which really pisses me off. Bagley was being kind of a jerk at the booth. I don't know if he really wanted to be there or not, if he was just annoyed. There's plenty of reasons why someone could be in a bad mood. I certainly am in a bad mood at least 99% of the time. Um, but I think I mentioned this before, but I was buying a print from him, which was also signed, and and uh, and I had these two books. This one, the next one, signed by him. And then he was forgetting to charge me for the print. And I made a joke. I was like, "Oh, I'll take it for free," uh, not being serious. And I was, not. I don't think I played it off as I was being serious. I clearly meant it as a joke. And then he just made like a grumble, and said, "No, you won't." And I don't know. I was a little taken aback by it. I was like, dude, I'm just kidding. I didn't say that, but I just kind of let it go and went on my way. But I was a little annoyed. I thought he was a little grumpy, but like I said, I'm mostly grumping. If I was signing books, I people would probably say I'm a jerk because I'm a pretty grumpy dude. But that's my Bagley story. I'll still get stuff signed by him when I see him. Then this one is Amazing Spider-Man 400, which has a better play signature. Actually, I don't know if you could go wrong with that. Uh, it's a terrible enhancement cover. There is a picture of Spider-Man on there somewhere, but yeah. So that's signed. I always loved Bagley's art. Grew up with him, so that was a fun one. I'll show off my last comic, and then I have two trades that were signed. This one I showed off last year from the Comic Con. So I got Ron Ferentz to sign this one at the Pittsburgh Comic Con in 2006 or 7, whatever it was. Then I got Stanley to sign it last year at the Boston Comic Con. It wasn't cheap though. Definitely one of my prized possessions, even though it's not. There's no certificate for it. So uh, you know, it, I certainly don't like buying signatures if I don't see a certificate, personally, because I'm skeptical that anything is real. But I don't think I'd be selling this anytime soon. It's definitely one of my favorites. I'd love to get this signed by everyone that had a part in the book. So I need to find Tom DeFalco because he's the next person that's the biggest influence on the book, and maybe Roger Stern, since I think he plotted it. And as many people as I can, just because I adore the black costume. Uh, and and uh, and yeah, why not? While everyone's still around, get them all to sign it. Stanley is obviously the creator of the book. If I could ever get Steve Ditko to sign something, I would certainly get him to sign this. Although I sincerely doubt that would ever happen since he's so reclusive. But this is it. This is my prized possession of comics. Not because it's worth the most, because it's not, just because it's signed by Stanley and the artist Ron Ferns. So that's a fun one. Actually, Brett Breeding, the guy I got signed Superman 82, did the inking for this. So if I knew that then and I had that book, that would have been awesome to get him to sign that. I don't know if that guy does anything in comics anymore. Should look them all up, see what they're up to. This one was from Pittsburgh Comic Con in 2002, I think. Signed by Bendis. This is one of my favorite Spider-Man storylines. I was huge into Ultimate Spider-Man back then, but even since then, stands out as one of my favorite Spider-Man storylines. I had my friend get this signed for me because I back in college, if I didn't have class, he would have a hard time getting me up before noon. So even though I was supposed to go to this show with them, I skipped out because I was just too damn tired. So he got that signed for me, so that was a fun one. And then the last one I got is Todd McFarlane's signature on the Spider-Man Masks hardcover. This one I got signed. I used to work at 38 Studios, and if you don't know anything about 38 Studios, you should look them up. It's a funny story if you're into like the game industry. Todd McFarlane worked there too, not like in the office. This was I worked in Rhode Island, where the main office was, but he, does his own thing in California, and worked remotely. He was like a advisor, not advisor, but like a consultant, I guess, on the art direction for the game we were making. So he'd come in every now and again, and I was, every time I heard about him coming in, I'd miss out because I didn't know about it till he was gone. And then this time I made sure my boss let me know when he was going to be there. And after McFarlane was done with his meetings, I begged and pleaded the producer to let me go in there and get a signature. So we did that. Talked to him for a bit about how he left Marvel because he was getting tired of them censoring stuff and changing things, which is actually kind of funny because I think there was a story recently where Eric Larson was getting mad that or ended their collaboration on Spawn because McFarlane keeps changing his writing and his art after he sends it in. So yeah, that's kind of amusing. But anyway, other than that, you know, it was fun talking to him. He kind of did most of the talking about his time at Marvel and how, you know, there was a few of us there, so he was just going on about how he left Marvel and started Image, and no crazy news stories. But it was fun to hear it on the, you know, right there rather than reading it. Anyway, so I got a picture with him. I don't have the picture right now, but got the signature. If I wasn't collecting single issues at that time, I was just collecting trades. So if I was collecting single issues, I'm sure I would have gotten one of the single issues signed. But at that time, I just got this one signed, which is my favorite McFarlane Black Spider-Man image. And yeah, so that's about that. Those are all my signed books. The two I'm proudest of these two guys, just because they have the black suit and they're signed by creators that I don't see around too often. Too often. I don't know how often McFarlane is at like a convention signing stuff. Maybe I'm just not paying attention. But anyway, those are my two favorite ones. Yeah. So congrats on all the subscribers, and if you're subscribed to my channel and you're not subscribed to Amazing Murfinator, you should really do that. He's got like I mean, obviously if you're subscribed to me, you must have some interest in Spider-Man, because that's almost all I show off. But his collection is way better than mine. He's got I think you've got down almost 100 to modern day, right? I'm still chipping away at 200 to modern day. 100 100 to 200 frightens me with all the expensive books in there. But it's a awesome accomplishment. And then of course the 1 to 100 is going to be the hardest one. But I don't even want to think about that. My wallet quivers in fear just thinking about it. Anyway, yeah. I'll put his link in my description and for this video. And yeah, congratulations. Keep up the videos. Looking forward to see you adding more Silver Age Spidey books to your collection. All right, take care.